Welcome to a 1v1 on Faymonville Approach. This game is Please Call Me Dad vs. HighFive. OKW vs. U.S. Forces, Infantry Company, Insta-locked. Please Call Me Dad fielding scavenge, fortifications, and Luftwaffe. So he really likes units that can pop out of buildings and MG-34s, apparently. Stern Pioneers going into on these rear echelon troops jumping into the building, though. Riflemen setting up inside this building right here. Gonna convince those Stern Pioneers to disengage and go for the munitions point there in the north. Volks Grenadiers hitting the field now. Two Volks Grenadiers opening. And truck making its way back towards the base. Could be tier 2 or tier 3. On this map, generally tier 2 just goes right in the base because there's no real benefit to setting it up anywhere too aggressively, except for maybe behind this house sometimes. But that can get punished hard by Rifle Company, for example, which HighFive has not chosen as kind of Infantry Company, but you know. If you send me the pizza, it'll show me an alert in chat. I'll see it. Although if you wanted to tell me in chat, that would also, if you wanted to be safe. Because my alerts, I've been known to not notice them. I know that that is true sometimes. But something should pop up. Also, the website will like lock the donation thing if somebody sends me one for 24 hours. So if somebody sends me pizza, nobody else can send me one. So you won't be able to like coordinate. You won't be able to like coordinate it so that I get 100 pizzas or anything. Which is a good thing, because that would be a waste of perfectly good pizza, clearly.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Two squads of Volks Grenadiers here in the north moving to engage against Riflemen set up in green cover right there. And who built that? I guess HighFive built. Oh right, yeah, of course he did. For some reason I thought that was over Commando West reinforced wire, but no, that's rear echelon reinforced wire. It's going to make it difficult to path through this general area, and it will of course also protect against infantry coming out of that doorway. So interesting wire formation. I haven't actually seen that one before. Volks Grenadiers winning against Riflemen here because they don't really benefit from the cover. They are flanked, and they'll be forced to retreat. One squad of Riflemen in the building here, and another squad of Riflemen on the fuel point.
Krauts are taking one of our points. Build complete. Gather round.
Riflemen reinforcing here in the base. Volks Grenadiers taking control of the munitions right there.
God damn it! Someone get us out of here!
And they will jump into cover right here. More Volks Grenadiers engaging from a position in cover here in the north as well.
What the hell am I meant to
Rifleman will actually disengage out of the fuel point. He could have just stood in yellow cover with those Riflemen, protect himself from those Volks Grenadiers.
Steady up.
But he's just going to disengage completely and allow Please Call Me Dad to take full control of the fuel and munitions here in the south, and instead make a play for the cutoff, trying to avoid taking any unnecessary bleed. Have there been any model losses this game at all? 4 on HighFive, 0 on Please Call Me Dad. Not a very good opening for U.S. forces to have 0 model losses inflicted on your opponent. There's a battle group headquarters, so you can heal damage now too. It's Papa John's pizza. That's the only one that the website supports. Which actually I've never had Papa John's before. I hope it's good. I don't even know if it's any good. That's not like a thing that I've ever tried. I'm used to Domino's.
Nuts. We got orders coming. We're taking lead over here.
It's because the website only supports sites that it only supports sites that you can pay in full and not have to tip like at the door or anything. You can do the tip online, you can do everything online completely. Papa John's supports that, so that's why that's supported. Papa John's is good. And we also have a vote saying it's bad. Okay. I'm not surprised by that at all, because I've never seen two people that can agree on what is good pizza. But I'm not very picky. I'm sure it's excellent. I'm sure I would like it. Infantry support gun in production for Please Call Me Dad here. 4 Folks Grenadier opening into an infantry support gun. No forward retreat point unlocked, and he's probably not going to bother since there's almost no distance between his tier 2 and his HQ. Riflemen taking control of the fuel point here in the south, and these riflemen grabbing the munitions as well. 2 squads spreading out in the north, getting all that taken, and it looks like Please Call Me Dad has been forced to retreat fully back to base. Although he does have a couple squads in a light engagement for this house. Riflemen will disengage from the building to get this victory point captured and then possibly retreat to base for healing. That's a 5 rifleman opening, by the way, before transitioning to an officer. He is going to go captain tier, though.
Just took the battlefield.
Infantry support gun bombarding the building will bring that squad low, and a second infantry support gun is in production now from Please Call Me Dad.
Objective secured. Heads up. Mechanized mortar carrier is now ready.
And I guess we'll see if he can make something happen with that. On this map, he will probably be able to bombard with those things from within the safety of his base, so that's good, I guess. But clearly he's struggling for map control right now. Against a 5 rifleman opening, that's not particularly surprising, and things will probably only continue to get difficult once HighFive starts purchasing LMGs.
Pay attention this way.
Sampaio's running into close range on the riflemen in this building. Infantry support gun continues to do light damage to these squads. Sternpio's getting some good bursts off as well. A couple rifle models will be wiped out and forced to retreat as a result. Rear echelon troops taking control of this strategic point. Second infantry support gun is on the field now, and we're looking at 2 kills for this one. No damage inflicted at all for this one. So not off to a huge start, and HighFive continues to maintain excellent map control. These 3 squads are about to make their way out of Please Call Me Dad's base, at which point he may be able to get a little bit of map control back, especially if these infantry support guns get some big hits off. And HighFive will probably want to transition from using yellow cover into using just open ground and green cover, because yellow cover will be rather dangerous against double infantry support gun. There's a pretty good chance of a miracle barrage wiping a squad if he sticks in yellow cover for too long. And he will counter infantry support gun spam with a pack howitzer. Sure, I could see that. Artillery battle. A lot more manpower has been invested into these infantry support guns than into the pack howitzer, though, which is why there's so many more riflemen on the field than Folks Grenadiers, plus captain. No other captain tier units on the field yet, though. I like the food discussion. All the discussion in this game is just about food now. Olive Garden, McDonald's. What have I done? Everybody who watches me at this time of day is American. I don't have any European viewers right now. Most of my viewers are European, but people who watch me at night are American, so everybody knows what Olive Garden and McDonald's and Papa John's and stuff is, which I actually think is kind of funny. Fuel cache going up right here in the south. Interesting choice. Unlikely to be countered by infantry support guns, built in that safe of a location. There's also a fighting position covering the fuel point right here, so kind of a defensive style from HighFive here as he sort of slowly transitions towards Major, and he doesn't seem to be making any overly aggressive pushes towards this medic truck. Just tries to continue holding onto the fuel point, which it looks like he will be able to do easily. 3 rifle squads down here are going to push those Folks Grenadiers back into the base. And these two squads should probably focus on the right side victory point rather than this misguided attempt to take out that battle group, which is obviously going to fail. And rear echelon troops are trying to get the center victory point back under control. These two riflemen are probably overextending as well. There's no real reason for them to try and take this cutoff, and trying to do so could be extremely dangerous. Riflemen there will be forced to retreat in addition to the captain because of infantry support gunfire, and as a result they have lost the victory point here and the strategic point right there. Folks Grenadiers move to take this territory, and most of the north will fall back into Police Commandant's hands. Riflemen are going to at least decap this cutoff. Folks Grenadiers moving to provide vision against them may open up some opportunities for those infantry support guns to force them off the field. Goes that squad. Folks Grenadiers moving to take control of the strategic point there, and a Jagdpanzer is in production for Please Call Me Dead. Well before any tanks for HighFive, who's been a little bit late to tech up, honestly. 190 fuel in the bank. He could be queuing up a Sherman in, I think, 10 fuel, 15 fuel. So, should have probably fielded a major a while ago. Getting himself an ambulance now, a little late for an ambulance too. The last thing you want to do is engage against infantry support gun spam with wounded infantry squads. Ooh, nice hit from the pack howitzer right there. That was its first kill. First kill from the pack howitzer. Hasn't really done anything yet. Stern Pio has moved to restore control of the cutoff while Folks Grenadiers grab the strategic and fuel points right here.
What the hell am I meant to do with these recruits? Green is green promotion! Well, grab your shit and follow me. Ambulance, ready for action. Orders! Stand ready! Rocket fire!
Folks Grenadiers win the engagement slowly with infantry support gun fire, and will continue taking control of that fuel point. Riflemen take control of the fuel and strategic and victory points up there. Riflemen continue their advance to take control of the munitions. Rear echelons working on victory point.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Battle lines aren't shifting that much though, and a third infantry support gun is now on the field. I would say that probably qualifies as spam. We'd probably officially call this infantry support gun spam. I've never seen this many in one game before. Actually, that's not true. I have seen it in one game before. One time, when Please Call Me Dad actually asked me to test this strategy with him, so I played against it. It didn't work very well. But clearly,
What the hell am I meant to do with these?
it's not so horribly terrible that it couldn't possibly hope to succeed at all. He does have a little bit of map control, but he needs to try and stop this triple cap, most importantly.
Capture point.
He needs to try and stop this triple cap.
Orders incoming.
Stern Pios need to retreat to safety away from those riflemen. They might get wiped in red cover right here. Wow, I can't believe none of them are gonna die. Those are so lucky. Pack howitzers bombarding the battle group headquarters. What got wiped? Something just got wiped? What are they even shooting at? Did they wipe something? I missed it. I wonder what just got wiped. It was a rifle squad, but I don't know where or how. Maybe it was to a grenade or something somewhere. I missed it. I don't know. Probably a miracle hit. I don't know. One has 0 kills, the other has 3, and the other one got cleared, so I'm pretty sure it wasn't an infantry support gun. Not sure what happened. That was a pretty good hit. Forces that retreat. Stern Pioneers slowly trying to repair this thing. Folks Grenadiers have been forced to retreat back into the base. Continue to try and heal, reinforce, try and find an opening, try and find a way to get back map control. Again, there's a triple cap going against Please Call Me Dad right now. He does have Panzerschrecks upgraded on all of his Folks Grenadiers and a little bit of spare munitions for grenades. He's chosen Luftwaffe ground forces but fielded none of its features yet. If you can get a little manpower flow together after fielding all 3 of these guns, maybe you can field a Fallschirmjäger squad.
The enemy
Could be
is
good.
overrunning one of our capture points.
Folks Grenadiers trying to take control of this strategic point. Riflemen are taking control of this point here in the south. And riflemen are slowly being equipped with more and more LMGs. And finally a Major is on the field and a Jackson is in production. Jackson is an interesting choice, but okay. I guess he wants to be able to pound away at this structure from range. I think a Scott or Sherman would make more sense. I don't know what I think about a Jackson. I guess, I don't know. The Jagdpanzer performs pretty well against the Jackson. I don't know if he's seen the Jagdpanzer yet. Probably not. But he's gonna have to use that Jackson very intelligently, or that Jagdpanzer is gonna cause him serious problems. Usually when you have a big fuel lead like this and you've controlled both fuel points for the entire game, you want to rush a Sherman as quickly as you can, start bleeding your opponent's manpower hard with HE shells on overextended infantry squads like this. Gun them down on retreat. Jackson has no ability to do that whatsoever, but as infantry company it does make sense to go straight for the Jackson since you have a lot of anti-infantry firepower in your LMG riflemen. Riflemen taking control of the strategic point over here on the right side, and rear echelon troops are moving to grab the victory point. Riflemen engaging against the Volksgrenadiers over here. And Fallschirmjäger are deployed out of that building. Try and turn the engagement in Please Call Me Dad's favor. Jumping up into green cover, we'll be able to force that retreat easily. Volksgrenadiers will retreat as well, but Fallschirmjäger can get control of the fuel. Rear echelon troops grabbing control of this. Riflemen force retreat from the squad over here, and it looks like LMGs are going to put some pressure on these infantry support guns. There's currently 1 kill, 0 kills, and 4 kills between them, so 5 kills total on 3 infantry support guns. Which is just terrible. That is just so bad. That was a pretty good hit. Forces that retreat. The suppression is a benefit in and of itself, and it's not really reflected in the unit's kill count. But I really think that building more than one of these is basically pointless. Because they cost a fortune.
We're losing a capture point.
The squad has to retreat. Pretty good hit right there. Pack howitzer is going to be very dangerous against that extremely clumped Volksgrenadier squad. Time on target artillery just got dropped on something, probably on the truck itself, I think. No, on the guns. That was kind of a waste. That's not going to do that much. Minor damage to the truck. That'll be easily repaired. Pack howitzer does not get a miracle hit on those Volksgrenadiers, and they will retreat to safety. Fallschirmjäger have finished taking control of the fuel and victory points, and will move to take the munitions totally uncontested. Riflemen move to take control of the center VP and fuel. A couple squads reinforcing and healing here by the ambulance. Pack howitzer is up to 7 kills. It's doing pretty okay. 6, 9, 10. So 1 pack howitzer is actually only 3 kills behind 3 infantry support guns. Pretty good value on that pack howitzer. I think they cost the same, right? 480 and how much pop cap? 11 pop cap. Infantry support gun is 430 and 9 pop cap. So it's a little cheaper. Pretty similar though. Fallschirmjäger move to engage against those riflemen with LMGs. They should use that green cover wall to the left. Oh, nice hit though, to turn the engagement. They get suppressed too though because defensive stance is so balanced. Meanwhile, over here, Volksgrenadiers chased away by those riflemen, and a little bit of territory has been secured by the Fallschirmjäger down here, but other than that, Looks like Please Call Me Dad is still struggling a little bit. Spread out. What is he doing? He cannot stay stationary and clumped against 3 infantry support guns. That's just asking for trouble. Priest on the field with 8 kills already? What happened? Oh man, I must have gotten a huge hit. Maybe it's barraged twice? How long has this been here where I didn't even realize it was on the field? Has 8 kills. Ooh. Well, I think it killed like 2 Volksgrenadier squads. Yeah, only two Volksgrenadier squads just got wiped. That was a pretty nice opening barrage from that priest. So that hurt. And Please Call Me Dad is going to have to try and find some way to deal with that. There is a Jackson on the field to protect that priest against an overly aggressive Jagdpanzer. He could maybe flank like super deep with his Jagdpanzer and try and snipe it. Because against Captain Tier Infantry Company, he doesn't really have to be that realistically afraid of mines. Yes, there could be light anti-tank mines, but probably not. And even if there are, pretty decent chance they just won't do anything, so... Especially, I mean, there's probably not going to be mines if he takes a really wide route to flank. And he could probably sneak into the base. He probably could. But a move that risky could also cost him his Jagdpanzer, and if his Jagdpanzer dies, or one of his 2 Jagdpanzers rather dies, could cost him the game. I don't know. He could just assault frontally. Pretty decent chance of that going kind of okay. As his opponent only has 1 Jackson, he might be able to maybe make something happen. Looks like he's going to make an attempt. Jagdpanzer making a drive straight down the road. Oh no! Oh! Wow, ambulance gets sniped and it crushes a bunch of infantry right there. Jackson moves up to try and counter. Jackson takes a bit of damage from a Jagdpanzer shot. Bazookas and rifle grenades on that Jagdpanzer bring it down to about half, less than half. Now it desperately needs to get back to safety. This Jagdpanzer is still in excellent condition though. A squad just got wiped by something, I don't even know how. Somewhere. Jagdpanzer moves up aggressively, plus Fallschirmjäger bringing that pack howitzer very low. Bazookas and Jackson bring that Jagdpanzer to about half. Honestly, I think he probably could have killed that Jackson, but he doesn't want to risk it, so he pulls out and he's go get some repairs. Fallschirmjäger gets suppressed by the base defense, and they're also going to have to pull back to safety. There they go. 3 squads here in the south take control of all these various territories. Volksgrenadiers are going to try and cut them off by grabbing the center VP. And this squad of Volksgrenadiers is working on the north victory point with only 53 victory points remaining for Please Call Me Dad. He absolutely must stop the victory point clock. He doesn't have any more time to play defensively. He's going to have to start getting very aggressive with those Jagdpanzers and make huge plays. Infantry support guns bombarding these 3 squads. Don't really get any big hits yet. 20 kills total between all the infantry support guns right now. The pack howitzer's up to 9. So, sure. And the priest is up to 8. So, about 20 kills on indirect fire for both sides, actually. Pretty balanced indirect fire game between these 2 factions, apparently. Fallschirmjäger will be forced to retreat. There they go. Ooh, that priest barrage. Wipes the infantry support gun. Everything else is trying to get away from the headquarters to avoid dying. And there are 2 squads of Fallschirmjäger on the field. Those are going to be a fortune to reinforce. 1 Jagdpanzer fully repaired, the other at about half. White phosphorus barrage from the pack howitzer here towards the road, I guess. Will prevent any infantry from advancing temporarily. Here comes the Jagdpanzer. That priest probably should not be positioned right there on the road. Jackson will spot the Jagd as it advances. 1 big hit on the priest. It's 1 hit from death. Jagdpanzer continues chasing, and the Jackson is not moving to flank behind that Jagdpanzer for some reason, when it definitely should be. Why is he just idling? Abandoned. Airborne assault here on the cutoff to try and slow VP drain if possible. Only 33 victory points currently remain. He misses his shot against the priest. I'm not sure how this is going to go. I think he definitely should have prioritized the destruction of that Jackson. He drives into point blank range and is now going to try and escape using the smoke screen of the dead priest to try and get away. But I don't think there's anything he can do to save this. And there it goes. Jagdpanzer out of control. He does still have this one on the field, pulling back to safety. The priest being dead is definitely nice, but it was kind of an expensive trade. Fallschirmjäger here in the middle, take control of the strategic point, and squad of Volksgrenadiers will stop the clock, grabbing the victory point in the south. Victory point on the right / north is being taken by those two squads, but Volksgrenadiers are going to continue to stop the clock by taking control of this here in the center. With only 25 victory points remaining, the clock is currently stopped. Please call me Dad needs to execute basically flawlessly from this point forward, and HighFive needs to spend his 300 fuel. Can't believe he has 300 fuel right now. He's just bleeding so much manpower on his rifleman, he hasn't found a way to spend it apparently. Fallschirmjäger moving up here in the middle to engage against some stuff. We'll be able to push back a major and captain. That's not a real push, really. Gonna need more than that. Only 3 of 5 rifle squads currently remain in this game. I think. Yeah. 2 wipes throughout the course of the entire game. Over a 27-minute game, that's not that bad. He could replace those if he didn't want to spend manpower on tanks, which he should probably spend some manpower on tanks. And the 480 he had to spend on a priest is a lot. That's a pretty big setback. That definitely cuts into his rifleman economy. The fact that it wipes 2 Volksgrenadier squads definitely means it paid off, but falling low on infantry, Fallschirmjäger wipe his major. Should stop smashing his head against the brick wall here in the middle. It's clearly not doing him any favors. Defensive stance riflemen in the south are going to retreat from Volksgrenadiers. They probably could have beaten, honestly, although he does have access to a grenade. Infantry support guns have moved up into a slightly more aggressive location to maybe bombard the US base a little bit. Try and deny the capture of the center victory point, which, please call me Dad, cannot really afford to lose. MG-34 on the field. And 3 squads of Fallschirmjäger, which is a lot of Fallschirmjäger.
Enemy attacking! Taking fire! MG-34 heavy machine guns are now available.
Ooh, that was a nice hit. Fresh ambulance on the field to replace the one that got sniped by the Jagd. A lot of squads need to heal on the base, but he doesn't have a lot of time to sit around healing. Fresh priest bombarding somewhere. Battle group, I guess. Almost a direct hit on that Jagdpanzer brings its health down a little bit. Needs to pull back for some repairs. And these squads are spreading away from the battle group headquarters. This infantry support gun might want to reposition a little. Infantry support guns firing at these riflemen will suppress them. Fallschirmjäger should be able to keep them suppressed at range, or not. Hit and suppress. Throws these riflemen into defensive stance. Infantry support guns are bleeding them rather hard. Fallschirmjäger look like they may have to retreat though. They're falling low themselves, despite engaging a green cover. Oh, that wipe! Finally, I think that's the first thing that those guns have wiped. They've been inflicting a lot of bleed. 14 and 21 kills between the 2 of those now. That's pretty good. Pack counts are up to 11. Not all that impressive, really. And Please Call Me Dad is slowly taking full control of the battlefield. And HighFive's decision to field another priest seems rather misguided to me when his infantry army is suffering so much. Especially when there's still a Jagdpanzer on the field. Then again, pretty much his entire army is just getting very small. I mean, just looking at his army right now, it doesn't look like a 69 out of 100 pop gap army, but it is because some of this stuff, 11 on the pack howitzer, a lot on the Jackson, a lot on the priest, and just not very much of a working infantry corps is causing him to have very high upkeep, but very low forces with which to take ground. It's not a very good army composition right now. Rear echelon troops taking control of the munitions there in the south. And riflemen are grabbing the strategic and victory points right here. Jagdpanzer's going to crush these defensive stance riflemen. There's the retreat. Time on target artillery being dropped in this general area. Infantry struggling to path, but they should get clear of the barrage, I think. That was pretty slow, but yeah, they'll be fine. Time on target artillery takes a really long time to drop. Jagdpanzer doesn't get any hits off on the Jackson. Jackson brings it down to about half. This Fallschirmjäger squad is falling low. They should throw a frangible. Throw the frangible! What are they doing? Wow, that infantry support gun hit though. That was beautiful. Infantry squad gets away with just a tiny sliver of health remaining, and the clock's still ticking against HighFive, who at the very least does have 383 victory points in the bank. He still has a long time to just spam riflemen towards the VPs and hope for the best. Which would probably work pretty well, honestly, considering what's defending the north and south flanks. Almost nothing. And he does have a priest and a Jackson. He's got the tools to survive, as long as he just spams infantry as hard as he can. Maybe even rear echelon troops, 1 or 2 extra squads, I don't know. Just needs more infantry. And he needs to keep them mobile and out of yellow cover where possible. And I think defensive stance might be the worst thing he could possibly do against this quantity of infantry support guns. Because standing still against this many artillery pieces is just asking for trouble. Another rifle squad just got wiped. Oh my god, he's playing right into his opponent's hands with this.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Priest is bombarding the central house.
Supply line just got cut off. Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Fallschirmjäger practically just walking into the US base at this point to try and wipe even more infantry. They will retreat away from the US base defense. Jagdpanzer is going to try and sneak into the base.
Grab your shit and follow me. We're back to full strength. Man your stations.
I'll probably still stream most of the time order. I don't think I'm going to play the alpha that much. I'll play it a little. But I'm probably still going to stream just as much as I always did.
Check stations. Get ready.
There's a Sherman.
Big push coming.
I don't know what I think about a Sherman. I still think he needs like way more infantry. He keeps on buying things that cost a ton of manpower. 340 manpower for a Sherman, 480 for a priest. He had to replace his ambulance, and now he's fielding extra rear echelon troops, which I guess is fine, but he's just gonna have to use that Sherman extremely intelligently. To be fair, his opponent doesn't have that much anti-tank. Just 2 Panzerschrecks and a Jagdpanzer. And of course, hollow charge rounds. Priest bombarding in this general area, I think. Oh my god, what is that Jackson doing? Jackson drives right into a Panzerfaust, so does the Sherman. Jagdpanzer is probably going to clean both of these up without even trying. Supported by that Panzerschreck, that Jackson goes down so quick. Priest barrage is completely off target and hits nothing. Jackson dead, Sherman at half.
We're getting plastered over here.
And that Jagdpanzer is slowly trying to maneuver correctly for this. There it goes. That Sherman is screwed. Dead. Meanwhile, here in the north somewhere, or right there, what just died right there? A captain? Some sort of squad with bazookas and rear echelons, and it looks like a captain. I don't know what they were doing standing right there, but they're dead now.
A capture point is under attack. Back to full strength, ready for action. I need cover!
Airborne assault coming in on the right side. VP. Folks Grenadiers taking control of the middle. Do take a big priest from that. Big hit from that priest. Pack Howitzer trying to do what it can. Fallschirmjäger again just walking into the front door of the base. No frangibles this game, by the way, from Please Call Me Dad. And I feel like the frangible grenade is the best ability Fallschirmjäger have, especially when you're spamming infantry support guns, by the way. The odds of your infantry support gun getting a miracle wipe on a squad that's in a frangible grenade are extremely good. So, something I think he could improve on is spamming that ability a lot harder. That's pretty much the whole reason you even go Fallschirmjäger, in my opinion, so you can spam that ridiculously good grenade. I don't know, it's just my 2 cents. Triple cap continuing against HighFive, who continues to spam out rear echelon troops. Probably a pretty good idea. With his Sherman and Jackson dead, I don't know if this game will be recoverable. Although it's nice that this priest is still alive, it's probably just a matter of time before that Jagdpanzer decides to drive into the base and kill it. In fact, it looks like that's exactly what Please Call Me Dad is doing right now. Sturm Pioneers move into the center to try and push everything away, but there is Rifle Squad, 2 rear echelons there. Counter. A giant Fallschirmjäger and Volksgrenadier Blob is making its way towards the middle.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points. Points are down to 300. Our supply line just got cut off.
Time on target artillery to delay the capture of the center point. Please Call Me Dad only has 14 points remaining. I cannot believe that HighFive is currently fielding a Jackson. That is the last thing he needs right now. There goes the priest, sniped by the Jagdpanzer, just driving into the base, completely uncountered. Jackson is too late to maybe save the day somehow.
A capture point is being overrun.
Rear echelon troops almost wiped by that infantry support gun shot. Oh, there's a frangible. Alright. Rear echelon troops will retreat away from that engagement. This squad is going to be encountered by an EMG-34 at the south house. And there's GG and the surrender. If I'm being completely honest, I'm still not 100% sure the game was over. I probably would have stuck around and at least tried. 255 victory points remaining to 14. I probably would have just sat in my base getting to 100 of 100 pop cap on rear echelon troops and then swarmed all 3 VPs and hoped for the best. But that's just me. GG, Axis wins.